ever wanted to play a game as a tiny fairy who lives in a cozy glen full of wildlife, I've got great news for you. Fairy Springs is a genuinely relaxing game full of fetch quests, soft vibes, and a surprising but much appreciated attention to detail when it comes to accessibility. The demo is currently available on Steam, and I was able to ask the solo dev some questions about what we can expect for the full release. So thank you so much to Ben over at Naive Excursion for answering all my questions and letting me know what to expect when Fairy Springs drops at some point later this year. Hi friends, hope you're whelmed. If you've been around my channel for a while, you know I don't typically cover demos, and when I do, instead of playing through it, I usually like to talk about its features and possible improvements so that you guys know if it's something you'd like to wishlist. Fairy Springs is no exception, and I have to be honest, it is the most tranquil game I've played in months. Inspired primarily by the dev's trip to Scotland, as well as his sister-in-law's collection of fairy statues, Fairy Springs has had so much love and care put into making it a must-play experience for cozy players, and you can absolutely tell. You'll have the opportunity to play as Skye, an altruistic young fairy who's the new kid on the block, in the forest, with one mission: help her neighbors. You'll essentially be the glen's gopher, going for this and going for that, all to help your animal friends, whether you're helping pad out a bird's nest or building an improvised lean-to for an adorable new friend. The way the quests are structured makes Fairy Springs an easy, no-pressure choice for cozy players who are craving a stress-free escape above all else. If you navigate to the pause menu, you'll see each critter you haven't talked to that day, and the ones who need your attention or have an important task will be marked with an exclamation point. Plus, each quest will be written at the top of the screen for you. You may have noticed there's more than just a checklist in the pause menu, including hats. We get to preview one in the demo, a list of forageables, and also a checklist to help keep track of the other special items you'll discover. Over the course of 3 days in the demo, you'll get to know each of these unique critters, from Hamish, the poetry-loving newt who reminisces about his time in the city, to Red, the food-obsessed squirrel, to Ewan and Flora, the adorable lovebirds who are getting ready for hatchlings of their own. The handful of characters Fairy Springs spotlights in its demo each have their own personality and way of speaking. You'll get to know them, and if you're anything like me and you get easily attached to pixels on the screen, you'll become invested in their storylines. Like, in the full release, will we get to see Flora and Ewan's eggs hatch? What's Artie dreaming of? Where are that poor fawn's parents? And who's the mysterious, surly stranger we meet at the end of our last demo day? I'm an incurable optimist, so I'm hoping for a friend, but given their attitude when we first meet them, it's quite possible they'll be a foe. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. I cannot wait for this game, but not just because I already feel at home with Skye and all her friends. The dev has made sure Fairy Springs is accessible, at least for those with limited dexterity in their hands, as you're able to move Skye around and perform all other interactions with just the mouse. Nothing requires precision or speed, and while I know I would have gotten a handle on flying with the keyboard eventually, I am so happy just using the mouse is an option. Clicking and dragging Skye around is way easier, not to mention foraging, finding sparks, special items littered throughout the game that you can share with Ulrich the Owl, and collecting stuff feels like a breeze. I would have bought the game anyway, but its inherent accessibility means that it will be a release day purchase for me instead of one that's relegated to my wishlist until the price drops. Volume controls have already been implemented, and currently, the dev is working on adjustable text size for those who need it, as well as hovering to translate Monty's dialogue for players who may have issue parsing through this wildcat's dialect. But let's get back to the price. As of now, the planned price point will be somewhere in the neighborhood of $11.99 USD, but remember that that's only an estimate, not the final total, and a discount will be set for the first week of release. As of now, the dev is focusing only on a Steam release, although if it's successful enough, and I'm crossing my fingers because I'd love to play this on the Switch, other platforms may be considered. I think I've wanted a game like this for a long time, and I already know my inner child is gonna love it. We play a lot of games like that around here, so this is par for the course on this channel. Warm and fuzzies aside, I really loved everything about Fairy Springs. The music, the art, the design of the animals. It's hard to pick a favorite, but for me, it was a three-way tie between Hamish, Monty, and Artie. Hamish would be the ideal slam poetry performer. I love big cats, and just like Gretchen Wieners, I'm convinced Artie's head is full of secrets. Also, he reminds me of Snoozer from Hamtaro. So there was a blast from the past that I didn't know I needed, but I really did. Plus, Ewan and Flora are just so cute together, and Ulrich brought me joy. I was always bringing Red extra snacks, Shona's just the cutest, and okay, you know what? It's fair to say they're all my favorite. I think the demo does a great job letting you know who these characters are, while really emphasizing a beautiful setting that's built on helping one another. I couldn't resist asking the dev who his favorite character is, and he said that it's a toss-up between Hamish and Monty, though he wanted to shout out Shona as well, because he loves the way her animations turned out. I don't actually have any criticisms right now, and that feels rare. I like what we've seen, what Fairy Springs is shaping up to be, and I love the accessibility. If you know of any other games like this one, where you get to be a fairy who nurtures the wildlife around you, flying included, drop them in the comments. I will put off everything else I have to do today just to play them. Now I'm curious, will you be trying out Fairy Springs? Let me know down in the comments if you enjoyed it, who your favorite character was, and what you would do if you suddenly woke up as a fairy. I'd definitely give myself flying lessons. That would be awesome. I hope you're having a magical day, and I'll see you next time.